My child, listen carefully, because what is about to be revealed to you will tremble the ground beneath your soul and open your eyes to truths that have been hidden for far too long. There is someone who has held back their words, who has guarded their tongue with trembling lips, and who has walked in silence while the storm of their heart roared like thunder inside them. But now their confession has come forward like a flood, and when you hear it, you will never look at your own life the same again. This is not just information. It is a message woven with divine threads, and it has traveled through realms to reach you now. Right where you are sitting, be still, take a breath. Let the Spirit of the living God fill you with strength, because the weight of these words is heavy and holy. God says, this is the hour of unveiling, no more silence, no more shadows. What they whispered in fear, what they buried under shame, I am now bringing to the surface. And this is for you. This message is for you. Because you have walked paths where your name was both praised and poisoned. You have sat among those who smiled with their teeth, but whispered curses behind veils of politeness. You have loved people who held you with one hand and pushed you away with the other. There is someone, yes, someone whose eyes have traced your face in the dark. Someone who knows the shape of your soul even when they pretend not to care. Who has confessed something that will shift everything. They said your name. They said it with trembling. They said it because they couldn't bear the torment anymore. My heart cannot carry this anymore. They confessed what I did to them, what I said about them. It was out of jealousy, out of confusion, out of my own brokenness. I painted them wrong in front of others. I let others believe lies, and I knew the truth. I knew who they really were. I saw the light on them, and I tried to smother it. These are not words that were spoken lightly. This confession came from the deepest pit of regret. It came after sleepless nights, after prayers whispered under breath, after moments when they nearly confessed before, but pulled back at the last second. But now the truth has been spoken, and heaven heard it, and the Spirit carried it, and now it's at your door, my child. Do you remember those moments where you felt betrayed, but couldn't explain why those times you felt unseen, in rooms where your light should have been recognized, that silent pain in your chest when people around you changed for no reason? It wasn't your imagination, it wasn't insecurity. Someone sowed weeds among your wheat. They twisted your image like smoke before others. They downplayed your goodness. They questioned your intentions. They created distance between you and people who were meant to walk beside you, and they did it because they feared your rise. But here is the holy truth. Nothing done in the dark stays hidden when heaven begins to shine its light, and heaven is shining. Now the confession was heard, and angels have moved. This moment is not just about hearing what they did. It's about reclaiming what was stolen because of it. You have suffered in silence. You've carried the confusion like a coat, too heavy for your frame. You've asked, God, why are things not moving? Why are the doors still closed? Why are people treating me like this? And all this time the roots were buried in their confession, still unspoken, still hiding like shadows behind your delays. But now it's different. Now it has been spoken, and the spiritual shift has begun. That person, yes, the one you're thinking of, is not sleeping peacefully anymore. They are being haunted by the purity of your heart. They are being drawn to the altar of truth by the weight of what they withheld. Some have already wept over your name. Others are on the verge of shaking under the weight of what they said. But it's not your job to carry vengeance. It's not your calling to retaliate. God has already stepped into the scene, and the confessions are bringing justice in ways that human hands never could. Listen to this child. Because it matters deeply, they confessed that they saw the anointing on you before you did. They said they felt threatened by the grace on your life. That every time you entered a room, something divine shifted. That you made people feel hope, that your presence was healing, and they hated themselves for envying you. But instead of dealing with their brokenness, they allowed it to become bitterness, and in that bitterness they spoke. But your spirit is not bound by their bitterness. Your future is not chained to their choices, and your name is not defined by their lies. The divine has begun the restoration, and everything they confessed, every word is being reversed in the spiritual realm. There are doors that were sealed by their slander that are opening now. Because heaven has declared no more delay. No more denial, no more detour. The Spirit says to you, do not let anger rise like a storm in your chest. Do not let the weight of this revelation crush your mercy instead. Walk into this with eyes of grace. You are being restored, not just to status, not just to relationships, but to clarity. You are being given sight into the truth behind your pain, and this is a gift not everyone gets. Many walk in pain for years without ever understanding the why, but you have been chosen to know because your heart can handle it, because your journey required it, because the time has come for you to walk in full awareness of who you are and what has been done to you. This is your hour of clarity. You will begin to see the truth behind many faces. The confession you just received is the beginning. There are others coming, others who were silent partners in betrayal, some who stood by and said nothing when they should have defended you. Some who laughed behind closed doors. They are about to come forward too, not all in speech, but in behavior. You will see shifts, apologies without words, distance without explanation. Some will bless you unexpectedly. Some will weep in your presence without being able to explain why. You will know, your spirit will know. The confession was only the start, but in the midst of this revealing, don't forget this, you were never alone. Every tear you cried in confusion, heaven saw every prayer you whispered while holding your chest in the dark. The angels recorded every moment you doubted yourself because of what others made you feel. God held it, treasured it, and promised a day when the truth would rise like the sun. That day is today. The person who confessed about you, they were used by heaven as an instrument of clarity. Even in their failure, They became part of your freedom. That's how God works. He turns even betrayal into blessing, even slander into sanctification. And now your story is shifting from confusion to clarity, from delay to destiny, from betrayal to blessing. You will begin to walk lighter. You will feel chains fall off that you didn't even know you were wearing. You will start to receive messages, invitations, opportunities, because what was blocking them has been broken. The confession was the key, and now the gates are open, and you, child of divine purpose, you are free to rise. You are free to shine. You are free to step into everything that was held back by deception. Your name is being whispered in heaven again, but this time with honor. The angels are singing over you. The Spirit is aligning doors before you. The throne of grace is calling your name louder than the voices of those who betrayed you. And you, yes, you will never be the same again. So when people come with apologies, receive them. But do not let them chain you back to the past. When people come with tears, bless them, but do not let them pull you into their pit. This is your time to fly, not to stay grounded. This is your season to soar, not to sit still. What you heard, what you now know, is a release, not a punishment. It is a holy unveiling, and you must walk forward with power. Do not let fear return. Do not let bitterness settle. The confession was a spiritual shift. Let it wash you. Let it heal you. And never forget you were right all along. Now the heavens have confirmed it. Now the truth has been spoken. Now your name is being restored. Now your path is being cleared. And now you are free. Free from the confusion, free from the slander, free from the delay, free to step into your divine inheritance with boldness, knowing that nothing and no one can stop what heaven has now released. The confession was just the beginning. Watch what happens next. Watch how the divine vindicates you without you lifting a finger. Watch how the same mouths that spoke against you will bless you. Watch how the heavens make room for your name. You will never be the same again after this moment. And that is exactly what heaven intended. God says, you will never be the same after knowing what this person confessed about you. This message is for you, and it's not something ordinary. It carries weight like thunder in the skies, like the trembling of the earth when it knows something is about to be unearthed. There are secrets that have been buried, like seeds watered by tears, but now they have grown into truths that can no longer be ignored. My child, this message carries fire in its bones, and you must read it with your soul wide open, because there are words in here meant to shift your entire path. Heaven has watched in silence, but silence is no longer permitted. You are being drawn into divine revelation, not to shake you with fear, but to awaken you with clarity, because what was once hidden in the shadows is coming into the light. Finally, someone confessed. Yes, someone who couldn't sleep, who kept tossing and turning, who felt the ache of guilt pressing like a weight on their chest. Every time your name came up, they tried to pretend they didn't care. They tried to act like they didn't miss you. But their spirit cracked open like a jar filled with sorrow. And the confession that spilled out will rewrite everything you thought you knew, my beloved. You need to know this truth because it will set you free. It will unlock every door that kept you chained in confusion and silence. Their words were soaked in regret, in longing, in pain, and in an ache that only comes when someone realizes too late what they've lost. They said your name with tears. They said I didn't know how much I hurt them. I thought they would be okay. I thought they didn't really care about me the way I cared about them, but I was wrong. And when they said these words, heaven listened, because angels always gather when a soul begins to confess, when light begins to break through the cracks of a hardened heart. You need to know that this isn't just gossip from the earth. It's the cry of a soul that's been carrying a burden too heavy to bear. They're tired, they're broken, and they're finally admitting what you always suspected in your heart. But were too afraid to believe that they loved you, that they never stopped, that they betrayed you not with hatred, but with cowardice. And they're begging heaven, begging fate for just one more chance to say it to you. This is why you've been feeling unsettled lately. This is why your spirit has been restless, because your soul was hearing the truth. Even before your ears did the whispers, you couldn't place the dreams that felt too vivid, the sudden flashbacks, the unexplained tears. They were all the beginning of this divine unveiling. You were not going crazy. You are being prepared, and now that the time has come, you need to brace yourself with peace, not fear, because no matter what this revelation stirs within you, remember, God will be with you. Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You just have to trust God and pray to Him. The person who confessed this about you did not do so lightly. It wasn't a moment of weakness, it was a moment of truth. They were confronted by their own soul. They were cornered by conviction, and for the first time in a long time, they stopped pretending. They stopped hiding behind pride. They stopped justifying their silence, and they said it out loud like thunder in their own chest. I wronged them, I didn't protect them, I let others speak against them, and I said nothing. I chose the easy path, and I lost the best person I ever had. Do you know what happens when a soul releases such a confession? Chains begin to break, not just for them, but for you. That confession is a key, a divine unlocking. Because there are blessings that were held back, gifts that were paused, healing that was delayed, not because you weren't ready, but because truth had to come first. God doesn't want you to build a life on lies. He wants you to build it on revelation, on light, on justice. And now that the confession has been released, your soul is about to enter a new territory, a place where you no longer have to guess, a place where clarity will be louder than confusion, where love will no longer be something you chase, but something that chases you. The one who confessed didn't just speak about what they did, they spoke about who you are. And this is what shocked the heavens. They described you with a kind of reverence, a kind of sorrow, like someone speaking of a treasure they lost in a storm. They said they were pure, kind, faithful. I mocked them for their honesty. I made fun of them when all they did was show me loyalty. I didn't know what I had. I thought they were naive. But now I see they were the realest thing I ever touched. These words shook even the angels because truth, like that, carries eternal weight. You were never the problem. You were the light in the middle of someone else's storm, and they didn't realize it until the storm swallowed them whole. They confessed because the darkness they chose couldn't replace the warmth of your soul. And now heaven wants you to know you will never be the same after this. Not because of what they did to you, but because of how you'll rise from it. This is your becoming, your rising, your divine transformation. You are stepping into the fire of truth. And instead of being burned, you are being refined. Every tear you cried in silence was heard. Every prayer you whispered in pain was caught in a bottle. Every moment you almost gave up, heaven was watching. And this is why this moment is so sacred. Because you're not reading this by accident. You're not hearing this by coincidence. You are being called into a sacred unveiling. There are things being rearranged in the spiritual realm because of this confession. There are people being shifted out of your way. There are blessings being rerouted to find you again, because now that the truth is out, God can release what has been waiting behind the veil. You're about to be visited, not just in the physical realm, but in dreams, in signs, in whispers that make no sense to anyone else. But you pay attention. The world around you is about to speak in symbols. The clock might stop at certain times. A name you forgot might echo. A bird might land near you and not move. Don't dismiss any of it. The language of heaven is speaking in everything now, and it's speaking directly to your soul, because this is your moment of awakening, your time of restoration. You are not crazy. You are chosen, and what was once hidden from you is about to be revealed with so much clarity that your entire view of the past, the present, and the future will shift. The person who confessed is still afraid. They don't know how to face you. They don't know if you'll listen, but it doesn't matter right now. Whether you ever speak to them again, what matters is that their words have released you from the prison of confusion. You no longer need to wonder what happened. You no longer need to blame yourself. Their confession has cleared the fog. It has exposed the truth, and now you are free. Walk forward with peace. Don't let bitterness take root. What they did was wrong, but what you are about to become is right. You are stepping into a version of yourself that is wiser, softer, braver. You are becoming the healed one, the whole one, the unstoppable one. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what heaven is about to pour over your life. God has already sent angels ahead of you. Doors are opening, delays are ending, and the blessings that were waiting for your freedom are now running toward you like rivers to the sea. This message is your proof that heaven has always been with you, that your prayers have never been ignored, that the silence was not abandonment, it was preparation. Now the divine is speaking, and the words are loud. You are not forgotten. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are deeply, deeply loved. And finally, truth has arrived. Like sunrise after the longest night, the angels are rejoicing, not because someone finally confessed, but because you finally get to see just how powerful your presence truly is. You mattered. You always did, even when they acted like you didn't, even when they chose others over you, even when they walked away. The truth never changed. You were always the light. You were always the one they couldn't replace. And now the heavens have made sure you know it. So lift your head, wipe your tears, and step into your new beginning. You were never meant to be defined by the lies told in your absence. You were meant to be defined by the truth that even they couldn't deny forever. This is your time. This is your truth, and nothing will ever be the same again. You are safe, you are seen, you are surrounded by divine protection, and your life is about to unfold in a way that will leave even your enemies in awe, because the truth is no longer hidden. It has come to light, and that light, my child, is now shining directly on you. If you believe in God, type Amen, subscribe.